Hello, hello. How is everyone doing on this glorious evening? I'm trying to get that glare out. I guess I need to put my head in front of the thing.
Doing good.
Bye.
People can see me. Happy.
Does anybody want to see me get beat or killed? I could. My wife is doing the Brazilian butt lift, and if I turn the computer, I'm going to get in very big trouble. Baby, I'm not going to do it. You can continue. Continue. She's over here dancing, doing the Brazilian butt lift, and if I turn the camera that way, I'm in big trouble. That's all I can say.
You know you want to look. I'm just kidding.
I'll turn it this way.
I better put it.
Send out any last minute text. Get everyone on this call. This is our weekly team Zoom, where we give value to the team, share insights. I think everyone's getting on. Hopefully, everyone's getting on the Wednesday night call with Greg Ammerman, getting the updates from the company. The reason why we don't have the Monday night calls anymore is because it just gets crazy with the corporate calls and we'd have too many calls. One of the things that was shared was the fact that we will have an advisory board here shortly, where promoters, leaders in the field will have insights as well as input as we grow the company, where we can make sure that we are all a part of everything. Does anybody have any great stories of things that are happening? Any wonderful news that anybody wants to share before we get started?
We're here to raise lots of money for the Redmond.
Let me mute everyone.
Hi, Chris. This is Lizzie.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I do have a story I want to share. The last few months has been kind of crazy with me trying to work my business. I did become bronze last month, so I'm super excited about that. But my team has trying to be a leader has been very difficult for me. But now that my time is getting a little free, I'm going to be doing so much more events. We had a great event this past Saturday night, and it was absolutely amazing. And it just, I was able to help my my team member, my team members, Bonnie and Ty, and they did fantastic. Our booth was absolutely the only one, actually our table, that had everybody coming to our table. Like, we had lines for coffee and chocolate, and actually I was really surprised about the chocolate was actually more popular. But it was the evening, it was evening event, and it turned out great. We have now scheduled 9 events within the next 2 months already, and we're super excited about that. And I think that before convention, I'm praying and hoping that things are just going to escalate even more for us as a team. And so now I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to move forward with my business, and bring more people into the business as well. And so anyway, that's what I wanted to share, because I haven't been able to really work the business like I wanted to, taking care of my mom 24/7 and my own health as well. But I'm excited, so I just wanted to share that.
You definitely tell you're excited. Can everybody tell Lizzie is excited?
Yay!
Her smile is absolutely amazing. So
Thank you.
So, you know what's funny, guys, as we're sitting here and just watching Lizzie share, right? You know, physiology is 50, now my brain just went dead. It's 58% of communications, 38, 50, 55% of communication. But 55% of communication is physiology, 38% is tonality. Can you tell that Lizzie is excited? Can you tell that her body language is amazing? Guys, this is what attracts people to what we're doing. Honestly, was it the coffee? Was it the chocolate bait? Yes, we have amazing products, but they had lines at their booth. Why? More than likely is because of their energy. It was because of what they were putting out attracts. And we can call it our music, right? So we all are putting out like a music. We're all putting out an energy, and our energy is either attracting or repelling. And I'm going to ask everyone tonight, what is the energy that you're putting out? And some people might be excited about the product, but they're frustrated about some of the challenges that we're dealing with. The fact that we've grown amazingly, right? And, you know, we've had some growing pains through that process, which is the kind of pains that every company would love to have. But the way that we deal with that and the way that our energy comes across is going to determine how we win through the challenges. And, you know, it's easy to be a leader when everything is hunky-dory, wonderful, fuzzy, feel good, and everything is perfect and everything is growing and flowing. But it's how you deal with adversity is what makes you or shows the true leadership that you possess. And guys, this is not my first company. The company that I was with, I started in 2010. We went through similar growth. I think we're growing a little bit faster here. In fact, I know we are. In terms of percentages, we're definitely growing faster. And I remember all the same things that we are dealing with now here, dealing with back then. And it's funny that when everything started to click and everything started to come together, we went from having, you know, an hour to 2 hour wait time on customer service in that company to literally, you know, the phone didn't ring for more than 30 seconds and they answered within the second ring, and then basically upsold the customers and all. I mean, it was crazy how we went from one thing to the other. And the funny part is how we forgot about what we went through. And what I want to share with you guys tonight is the fact that you're going through all this stuff is preparing you for what is going to happen. And earlier today, I was talking to Ricky, and we were talking about the challenges that we're going through and all the fun of dealing with all the little things in being a leader when people are looking at you to handle the challenges, right? And what we were laughing about was, oh my God, can you believe we've grown like this through all of these challenges? And we were like, what's going to happen when these challenges start going away? How fast are we going to grow? How big are we going to get? How many people are going to be empowered through this process? So what I want to share is, you know, in life, it's the challenges that get us ready to basically deal with the overflow. And what I saw, there was some people that came on board in that company that ended up making phenomenal amounts of money, that just amazing amounts of money. And because they never went through the struggles, they came on board when the company was doing this, that they just thought that, you know, everything's always going to stay peachy keen, wonderful, and all that. And then when things got tough, one, their spending habits were not necessarily great. And they literally I've seen people literally make millions of dollars and didn't do the right things with their money. And when the company started to have challenges, they didn't know how to deal with it and they folded. So guys, I just want to share with you all the fact that you are a part of the growth and you get to go through the challenges with the company and grow with the company. What I recommend doing is take every lesson as we go through this and use these lessons to help develop you as a leader, so where you can become the best version of yourself. So if we ever have challenges in the future, you know how to deal with it. And every single company, I don't care what company you are, every company does this, period. But it could do this and go up, and it could do this, and it can also go back up. And let's just use Amway as an example. Amway literally took a major hit. I forgot the exact date, but I've studied the charts. Don't remember the dates, but they literally went down billions of dollars. Literally billions. So billions of dollars is like way different than going down millions of dollars. They literally went to like $8 billion and then went down billions, which is a major deal, but then came back up. So, and there's people that have been with that company and literally millions and millions and millions of dollars that they've made through the process. And I'm sharing with you all, we are in a great place. And what we've experienced and the way the company's grown through all of the challenges that we've dealt with is almost like we have this godly intervention making us grow through periods of struggle. So I just wanted to share that because it's exciting to watch all the things that we're going through and see the changes that have already come and the stuff that is coming. It's absolutely been amazing. So guys, we're going to go into the basics tonight and talk about, you know, what are the core principles of what we use to grow. And these are things that we haven't talked about a whole lot. Last week we talked about it briefly, but these are the things that caused the movement, the magnetic pull for all the leaders to come to us and say, hey, I want to be a part of this. There's a better way. And as long as we stay focused on these things, keep the main thing, then we're going to continue to flourish and we're going to continue to develop leaders. So guys, when we got started in this, and I'm going to share the story, and it's not going to be very long. I'm going to be very brief, and then I'm going to pull in some people. So leaders, be ready. I'm going to be calling on you. So as we started to make this thing happen, and when we said, hey, we're going to go out and do this, and this is the company we're going to work with, we're going to do this, we talked about what do we want it to look like? What do we want it to feel like? And I'm sharing this because many of you all, and so many people are in different places. Some people might have had success in the past. Some people might not have had success in the past. And I want to share this because you don't want to compare yourself to other people based on where you are today. When I got started in this industry, I was like the epitome of what not to do. My first 2 years, I might have made $500. The other night, I was watching a Facebook. I don't know if it was a Facebook Live. I'm not sure what it was, but I was watching Ray Higdon interview one of our own, Jennifer Marsh, and it was amazing hearing the story of, you know, her years in the industry, and then all of a sudden blowing up a team. And there was another young lady, I think her name was Danielle, and she was on the call as well, and she was a customer of that company for, I believe, Jennifer, are you out there? I know you are, but I'm going to call on you.
Yeah, I'm out here. I'm
All
out here.
So Danielle, what was she with that other company for, like 12 years?
13 years.
Right, 13 years. 13 years with the other company. And she was literally a customer of that company, but working other businesses and doing things. And she realized that she was passionate about that product, but I don't even know she knew. It sounded like she didn't know there was like a business opportunity behind it. And she was taking the product, and then all of a sudden, when she realized there was a business behind of it, she exploded. She had tried other businesses, this, that, or whatever. Point being is 13 years overnight success. And Jen, do you want to elaborate on any of that and elaborate kind of your story so where people can feel what we're talking about?
Yeah. This is
Way
how
to
we
call
work
on
from
you while
home.
you're at like the gym, or swimming club, or whatever.
This is how we roll, right?
Yep,
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
So, 13 years she was there, and it was kind of funny to me that she was saying she got in a few other companies to earn an income, And it just wasn't happening. It was just strange to me that she never
I don't know if you're cutting out on me or if it's my computer. Dan, we're having problems hearing you. Can anyone hear Jen?
No, we can't hear.
All right. So we'll wait. I think she's in a locker room, so she's not getting good reception. But it's funny that she was there for a while, and all of a sudden now she's having huge success. And
Do you hear me?
yes, I can.
Yeah, I think someone's trying to call. I went to a convention myself, and then over the years I was a product user, everything from Tupperware to Arbonne, Beachbody. I don't know. I was a product user. A lot of things I shared with a friend or two when they were at the house, but I had never built a business. I just always felt like this was an amazing industry, and then it was in and out of different, just using products. But then 4 years ago, I was introduced to a product where I actually met Melissa and improved my health so much, so quickly, that people were just attracted to whatever I was doing. Whatever you're doing, I want to do. But it was a business where they were looking for distributors. Like, it was so distributor driven. That was uncomfortable to me because it just seemed odd. And so I got out. I was in and out.
Now you're cutting out again. All right.
Oops, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
So I haven't done anything for 3 years. A small wonder of a few months. And when, I used these products, I thought if I could get feeling better, this seems like this is the place where all those years of thinking this could happen, this seems like the place to do it. So you never know. Yeah, you never know.
So what rank are you right now?
Diamond.
All right, so Diamond. And you've been in the industry for how many years? Like using
And
products
what?
in the direct sales industry, I think you said it was like over 20 years.
24 years.
24 years. So guys, again, 24 years, overnight success. So, Jen was actually interviewed by Ray Higdon. If any of you all don't know who he is, he's been a leader in the industry. He has generic trainings, which are amazing through rank makers and, people that are following the systems and plugging into the model are having success. And he's teaching traction marketing, very much like Brian Fryer, who Ian and Amy Smith both use their trainings and follow them. And every leader has a coach, guys. And I just wanted to share that because every single person that is successful has someone that is teaching them. Today I was at the gym and my brother's all ripped up. So I said, my brother's ripped up. He's in great shape. Like, hell with trying to figure out what to do. I'm just going to go to the gym and do whatever the hell he does, right? Like, literally. And I hate working out. So literally in 3 weeks, like, I'm noticing a big difference, like in, just being cut up and different things like that. If I didn't like beer so much, I'd probably have a 6-pack right now. But, it's just amazing what's happening in such a short amount of time following him. Well, today we were talking to a trainer who is an IFBB pro or whatever you want to call it. And he trains a lot of these people that compete in these fitness shows. And my brother was asking, like, look, the guy is ripped up. Gavin, while he was here for 2 weeks, we were working out, and even Gavin could feel a difference in a short amount of time. And my brother knows a lot about looking great, but even him, he is coaching by other people learning little different tweaks. And it was funny that we were doing back exercises, right? And the guy showed how if you just change one little thing when you're pulling, how it changes the whole muscle, how it all works, right? And people are like, why in the hell are you talking about this one little thing? It's because, guys, every single leader out there, every professional has a coach. You hear us talking about the SOS trainings. Why is that? Because every leader has a coach. You want to plug into the training after training after training, and you never quit learning. Again, my brother is ripped up, right? And he's in great shape. Why would he go and sit and talk to another coach on what to do? Because anybody that thinks they know everything doesn't know anything, because anybody that knows anything never says they know everything. So, guys, I had a great conversation with Charity the other day, and she's been to Danny Johnson. And she was like, she had gone to these trainings, and she was wondering how they compared to the SOS. And I shared the story on how, look, I went to a similar training by a guy that was trained by the same person that Greg Ammerman was, and the trainings were very similar. And I have listened to those audio programs for 15 years. Literally every single month, I will go through this series of programs, right? And you might hear me share different things on calls or lives. And when I went to the training that Ammerman did the first time, like, he was saying all the stuff, and it was almost like I felt like he was stealing from me, right? Like, that's my stuff, where I stole it from somebody else, but they both learned it from the same place. And I was in my mind sitting there going, well, I don't know if I want to spend the money to go to trainings because I've been listening to that stuff for 15 years. That is the stupidest thing that somebody can say, and I said it, right? So point being is that as soon as you think that you know everything, you don't know anything. So I went to the training, and I realized on all the great things that I can learn from Ammerman, even though a lot of it is the same information, hearing it from a different person makes a difference. And the beautiful part about our SOSs is you might go to one training in one state and then go to another training and another training, and there's different trainers, and you're hearing the same information from a different point of view, which makes a dramatic difference. I remember when I was in school, and there was a algebra teacher that I had, and like this, I just didn't get it. One day a substitute teacher came in, and all of a sudden everything just went zoop, and I got it. Like, I didn't understand anything that the teacher was talking about, but a substitute teacher came in for a day and gave me a different point of view, and all of a sudden everything that the other teacher was talking about all started to make sense. And I'm sharing this because, guys, leaders are always open to learning new information, right? They're always open to expanding their horizon and working to another level. So, guys, let's bring on another leader, and let's talk about what are the systems. Let's talk about the basics, because, guys, when we shared, Ricky and I, we talked about how do we want it to look, how do we want it to feel. Guys, people don't quit a family, but they will quit a business. What moves people is the way that they feel, not what they think, but what they feel. Because if I ask you, do you want to make more money? Everyone says, yes, I want to make more money. Everybody wants to. Everybody wants to be in great shape. But I hate going to the gym. I'm doing it, but I don't like it. I don't like moving metal for no reason. It's heavy. Like, why? I mean, that's what forklifts are for, right? And that's the way I think. Like, hey, there's a smarter way to move this. Why pick it up like that? That's stupid. Ropes, pulleys, right? It's a lot easier. But without resistance, there are no muscles. And as leaders, without resistance, we don't grow. So I want to bring on a leader, and I see Melissa McGuire. Let's bring on Melissa McGuire. She's looking at it like, oh my God, she doesn't talk enough on the calls. Melissa, share what the system is. What are you doing? How is this thing working? What are the basics of what we do?
Hey, Chris.
Way to put you on the spot. You're welcome.
Thank you. I was just looking at my 2 SOS notebooks that from my 2 trainings I went to. I'm going to be in California for my 3rd. Excited about that. So what are our systems? It's basically reaching out to your people, getting samples in their mouths and their bodies. I sent out 2 samples and filling out the our new Players Club card. My goal is to get 50 names on there, and then the follow-up. Like I can send out samples. I'm nervous. Ooh, there's a lot of people on here. I can send out samples all day long, but if I don't follow up with people, then I'm just sending out, $5 bill, $5 bill, $5 bill. So I'm doing a lot of follow-up, and then finding out, because a lot of times when you send out, excited to get it, and then, it's not their habit to make an instant coffee. Their habit is either to make and get their coffee from somewhere. And so that, I think that it was, can't remember who said it, but probably all the trainers say it. But, most people wake up and the first thing that they think about is, I gotta go make the coffee. I gotta go get my coffee. They don't think, oh, I gotta go grab my stick and make that sample, right? So just making sure that they drink it, and then connecting them to more information, whether that is, another resource to help them get more information on the coffee after they love it, or that's a person, whether it's on a Zoom or, a call or a 3-way message. Just getting that third-party validation is crucial, because that shows duplicability. Is that a word? That you can be duplicatable, right? You don't have to be the expert knowing like what is in our products. You don't have to be the expert as far as how to build this business, but basically, connecting them with someone else and letting them share their story and how the product is working for them and answering any questions. Like I can't tell you any of the nootropics in our coffee, but I can tell you that a lot of people's pants are falling off. Let me connect you with my friend Chris. He's got a great story. That's as easy as it is. And then I let Chris do the heavy lifting as far as answering all the questions. And now my person that I've introduced to the coffee and the opportunity can't tell me that they don't have time to do what I do, because they just made it super easy and super duplicatable.
So what you're saying is you don't explain what's in the coffee, all the ingredients and how it all works and basically all the details?
No, I don't know anything that's in the coffee.
What is this peak and pass stuff y'all are talking about?
Yep. Piquing interest and then passing it off to somebody else who can answer their questions.
All right. So what on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the welcome call on the importance of it?
10.
All right. What is a welcome call? So the new people know.
So if you're brand new to the team, number 1, welcome. And if you haven't had a welcome call, get with the person that you signed up with and request that. And it's basically time. I think of it, a welcome call is time freedom, right? Like you sign up with someone and say you want to go on vacation or you want to like take your kids to their ball game or something like that. Like you're not 100% always going to be there for that person, that new person. So what the welcome call does is it introduces your newest person to the team, that they know that they have a whole squad of people behind them that has their back in case sorry. In case, something comes up and you need, another story, they need to know that, it's not just you. And the welcome call also is your ticket to finding out like your newest person's goals. Like I can't put my goals on my newest person, like go, who are we going to talk to? Who can you get me on the phone with if all that person wants to do is get a couple of customers or for a while. So finding out their goals and their why is crucial so that we know how to best serve them.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. I love putting you on the spot right off the bat. Bam, you were like, ah.
I know my face is super red. I'm shaking, but thanks for letting me get on.
All right, guys. So platinums and above, let's get some assistance here. Let's talk about the system. Let's talk about what we're doing. Vincent's out there. Vincent, take it away.
Well, first off, Chris and Melissa, crushing it. Kudos to y'all. Great nation. And what I'm going to share with you guys, I think is duplicatable. Even might not think it is right off the jump. Okay, this is a little bit old school, which is where I come from. I'm kind of like Chris Schweda, right? I was in network marketing before social media was the cool thing to do. And so back in the day, whenever you wanted to talk to people, you'd go through your cell phone list, and then once you were out, you were out. And then you had to meet new people if you were going to continue to open up this conversation to others. And so that being said, I'll just share a very simple story with you guys. Last night on my way home, I happened to go by a gas station, okay? And there was a gentleman checking out in front of me. He was very well dressed, and he just looked like a sharp guy, okay? So I was trying to figure out, how do I open up a conversation with this dude without being a weirdo, okay? So I had to come up with an icebreaker. Just so happened he had to have a tattoo. He happened to have a tattoo. So I said, "Hey man, where'd you get your ink done at?" And he said, "Over in California." I said, "No kidding. What brought you down here to Texas?" "This, that, and the other." "Huh, what kind of work do you do?" And he said, "I do this, that, and the other." Normally when you ask somebody what kind of work they do, it's complimentary for them to ask you the same. So he did. He said, "What type of work do you do?" I said, "I sell coffee." I said, "You sell coffee?" It's like, "Yeah." He said, "Is there any money in that?" So there's a lot of money in that. Anyways, the way that conversation went is we exchanged numbers last night. I ended up meeting with him at a Starbucks about 2 hours ago, dropped off 3 samples on him. He is flat wired about trying it out. I already talked to him about the opportunity, so if he tries it and likes it, then he's coming on board for sure. And all the questions that he was asking was, do I have to do like person to person? Or what if I know people that own businesses? What if they own a hotel? What if they own coffee shops? What if they own a restaurant? What if they own a gym? What if they own a this, that, and the other? So he's already thinking outside the box of, how do I talk to people that already have a network? Anyways, the long and the short of it was a really good contact. So the way that you could duplicate this yourself as far as how to get in a conversation with somebody, pay him a compliment. If you're a lady and you see another lady, or a guy and you see another lady, ladies take a lot of pride in their accessories, right? Jewelry, necklaces, rings, purses, stuff like that. So you might just say, "Hey, that's a really nice purse." "Oh, thank you. I got it from blah, 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 blah." And now you're in conversation. If you're talking to a guy, you might have to get a little bit more creative, but you can think of something to have a starter. And then once you're in conversation, because look, social media, and all of y'all are crushing it on social media, by the way. And I do believe the fastest way to build this is on social media, because you can talk to more people quicker in a short amount of time versus face-to-face. But there is a great value in building your local market, because chances are most of the people you're friends with on Facebook don't live near you. They'll still get on your team, but you can't meet up with those people in person. You can't throw socials with them in person. There's a lot of things you can't do with them in person. So I'm not going to say purposely go out and about to go cold contacting people. That's not what I'm promoting. But what I am saying is, if you have to fill up your tank of gas anyways and you see somebody worth talking to, if you're going grocery shopping anyways and you see somebody worth talking to, if you're out in public and you see somebody worth talking to, you never know when you're going to meet your next friend. In this case, I did. So hopefully that helps somebody.
I'm talking to mute. Awesome. Appreciate that. And guys, I want to be very clear. I built my first couple businesses. I made over $500,000 with a company, and I did it all through who do you know? Who do you know who? Who do you know who? And as I brought people on board, I basically said, hey, who do you know that's good people skills? Who do you know that's motivated? Who do you know that, likes to get fit? Who do you know that? And guys, social media is an incredible tool. Yet at the same time, we don't want to rely 100% on social media. And I want to be very clear. I'm not taking away from what Vincent said. But in fact, I heard Ray Higdon say this the other day. And he was talking about how when he got involved in social media, he was looking at it as a shortcut. Like, I could do this and it'll be easier. And then he said what he realized is that it took certain skills. And our team is, yes, like Vincent shared, has been very effective at attracting people because we're not blasting coffee all over the place and our name and all that stuff like people are doing, which is retarded. Excuse that. But I mean, people are just, when you blast stuff all over Facebook, then people just kind of stop watching what you're doing. So this team has been extremely effective with many of the coaches. Like, I know Jen talks a lot about it. I know Amy Smith talks a lot about it. Ian talks about it. And it's not blasting, hey, join my business, right? So it does take a skill to learn the social media side, which many people are starting to learn from people. I know I've been on many welcome calls with Ricky, and we literally let them know, like, hey, this is what we do and this is what we don't do. So at the end of the day, the reason why I'm bringing all this up is that let's not forget about that 3-foot rule and people we come in contact with and building relationships. What we want to realize is that nowadays, because of social media and because we're all like this all the time, people are looking for that connection. They're looking to connect with people. So when you can reach out to people and start generating a conversation like Vincent just shared, guys, it's easy to start building a business through those connections. So start practicing your people skills, just going out. Don't try to recruit people. Connect with people. Work on connecting with people and don't blast, oh, do this, oh, whatever. Guys, in order to communicate, people need to disagree, right? And I'll give this tip. I will talk to people over and over and over again. And when I'm talking, I'm like, hey, what do you do? And they're like, say I'm in the grocery store in the middle of the day. And I'm sitting there going, man, weather's been crazy. Weather's something you can always talk about, right? Today there's been some weird weather, thunderstorms here, but not here, right? And you could be in the grocery store and say something like that, and we're like, yeah, well, hey, what do you do that you're able to be in the grocery store in the middle of the day? I mean, you just bring it up. A compliment, like Vincent has shared, whatever. You bring up something, whatever, and then you say, by the way, you have great people skills. What do you do? If you wanted to use that. Compliment, bring it in. What do you do? And they tell you what they do. And then I shared, in order to communicate, people need to disagree. Say, how long have you been doing that? And they say, I've been doing it for a year, 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter. Then you say this, you must love that. And if you say you must love it, because people need to disagree, the first thing they're going to say is, well, it's okay. Most of the time, they're going to give you a negative. Most of the time, test me on this. Most of the time, if you say you must love it, hey, I heard that's a way to make a ton of money. So you could say something like that, and they're going to say, well, it's okay. And then you could say, well, what would you rather be doing? And then now you just opened up a whole nother line. See, there's no such thing as a bad prospect. It's a matter of what they connect with. So if you say, wow, you must love that, they're going to say normally, well, it's okay. And you say, really? Well, what would you rather be doing? Well, I'd rather be doing such and such. And then you, really? Well, I don't know if you keep an open mind or not, but I help people with whatever in the world they say. You can switch it around. I need to go out and video this. It works every single time. And every once in a while they might say, oh, wow, I do love it. Well, what do you like most about it? Well, I like the people. Really? You like people? Bam, that's another way in, right? Well, look, I don't know if this would be for you or not, but I'm looking for people that love people. Well, really, what do you do? Have you heard about the happy coffee everyone's been talking about? No, what is that? Oh, my God. If I sent you a 3-minute video, would you watch it? Hey, I have a sample in my car or whatever, in your purse, in your pocket. Who cares? The bottom line is, guys, you can go out there and just practice working on your people skills, which in turn is going to help you with working with the team. Because if you have a team, it makes sense to know how to connect with them. I know we just went off on a totally different subject, but guys, these are the basics. And the basics are people. So we're using a very simple conversation. Have you heard about the Happy Coffee? Everyone's been talking about. Social media is a little bit different, right? And then, no, what is that? Oh my God, if I sent you a 3-minute video, if I gave you a sample, would you try it, right? Right there, hey, what's your address? Let me send you a sample, boom. And then, hey, did you check out the video? Hey, did you try the sample? Yes. Can you see why I'm so excited? Big smile on your face. Physiology is everything. Smile on your face. We talked about earlier, Lizzie's energy attracts people to want to talk to her. Be fired up. Be the person that people are attracted to. They're like, I don't know what this person does, but whatever the hell it is, I want to be a part of it, right? Create that energy. What is your energy, and are you attracting or repelling? So again, what you like most about it, awesome. If it's something that you agree with, me too. Hey, look, if somebody says they like the weight loss, they like the energy, they like the focus, they like coffee, me too. You're building a bridge. People like themselves. When you have a me too, they immediately like you. Me too. You have kids? Me too. How old are your kids? And you build that bridge. And then now you're like, that's what everybody says. Guys, people, it's called social proof. It's a tool of influence. People like themselves, and they want to feel like they're similar to other people. Like, it's for instance, if you're doing something you're like, nobody does it like that, you start to wonder, why am I doing it like this? If everybody's doing it a different way. Guys, these are all psychological little bridges that you can do. If you write this stuff down, if you start to practice this stuff, and you don't have to do it only prospecting, but just start to connect with people and practice getting better at asking questions. The quality of your life depends on the quality of questions that you ask. Ask good questions and you will get good answers. Ask stupid questions and you get stupid answers. And especially when you're talking to yourself, don't ever say, why do I always screw up like this? Why can't I succeed? Why doesn't anybody want to talk to me? Why won't people join my business? Stupid questions are going to get stupid answers. Your brain doesn't know what's real and what's not real. It only knows what you tell it. You ask questions like that, and it's going to say, because you're not good enough, because you're not cut out for this, because you're not this, because you're not that. If you ask a question like this, how can I get better at this? How can I get better at attracting people? How can I get better at connecting with people? Quality questions, quality answers, bad questions, bad answers. So I know I'm all over the place, jumping from one thing to the next, but guys, these are all basics. These are all basic principles in building the business. So I'm opening it up to another platinum. Somebody else go jump out there. I know Ricky's probably going to have some insights. And we have a lot of leaders on this call. So I'm going to turn it over to somebody else.
Chris.
Go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to add to something that I did make a mistake on early on in the business is just assuming that, you know, a potential new customer wasn't interested in doing the business. So something that I've started doing after, I don't know, probably 4 to 6 weeks after I started was, you know, during that follow-up time, if they were asking me, hey, how do I order this? Yeah, I love it. How do I order? I just give everyone every option. I don't assume that they just want to order one time. I don't assume that they want to order on SmartShip, and I don't assume that they don't want to be a distributor. So I give them all of those options and let them choose which fits best in their life. So I just wanted to add that little nugget for you guys. Not saying it's right or wrong or anything like that. I know there's some people that always just give that retail option, that one-time order, and some people don't agree with that. But, you know, it's just another little thing. If you want to use it, great. If you don't, that's okay too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. All right, leaders, who's next? We have tons of leaders, tons of nuggets.
Hey, Chris, this is Kim. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Sure can.
Okay. So there was just so many things that we took away from the SOS training, and you hit the nail on the head when you said that, leaders are always learning, because we can learn from every different personality. But one of the things that Greg was talking about was tips to motivate your team. And I know sometimes, we get in a rut, or our teams kind of, we're like, what can we do to kind of help motivate our teams? And one of the main things that he said was to make sure that we recognize and appreciate people. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, you have to go and make a big, huge to-do, but even just a little text or a little message or a little card or, something to just let your people know that you enjoy having them on your team, you're proud of the work that they're doing. Just recognize and appreciate people, because people that have this will work harder for those two things, appreciation and recognition, than they will money. The other thing is fear of loss. Most people don't like to miss out or be left out on anything, and people will work extremely hard for that not to happen. So, if you have some bronzes that are so close to going silver, if you want to create like a chat group for all your silvers, and that way it's something they can strive for. Just different little things that you can help to motivate your team by helping them strive, so that they have that fear of loss, and that will motivate your team. Friendly competition. So these were just things that, I know a lot of people do different little competitions and stuff like around the end of the month, but just doing these things throughout the month. And just, while we like to see other people win, we don't like to see others win more than ourselves. Even though we may be a spring personality or a yellow, and we're not competitive and we don't like confrontation, we still don't necessarily like to be the worst person in the room. We still want to succeed and, win at challenges and things like that. So those were just some of the things that I took away. There was tons of things I took away, but those were a couple of things on motivating our teams throughout the month, but especially here at the end of the month. And then, if we can do that now, and then next month, take it from the beginning and just start really loving on your teams and keeping them motivated throughout the month, then I think we'll really see some major growth.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Guys, we have a lot of great input coming from many different leaders. Any other leader want to share any insights? Thank you, Kim. Don't everybody jump out there at once. What you say matters. And even though sometimes as leaders, and some of you all might even second guess yourself, you might have a rank and you're like, well, am I really a leader? And you might not say this out loud or whatever. And that might be why you're not jumping out there and sharing any of the insights on what you're doing to win. But this is the deal. Many of us have little nuggets that can make a difference in other people's lives. And by us holding them in or not stepping out because of our fear of what other people might think, could be holding other people back. And somebody might be dealing with one of the things that you're dealing with. And many times, just even one of the adversities that you might have overcome, sharing that story could really make a difference. And I'm just going to call it, a leader can jump on board at any point. But if y'all aren't going to say anything, I can go off on tangents and all kinds of stuff. But one of the things that I did want to share is, and y'all can jump in anytime, by the way. One of the things I wanted to share is that, now I just totally forgot it. And I had it. All right, Leo, your turn.
Okay. Oh.
Or there you go, Melissa. Melissa's turn.
All right.
Then Leo.
Okay.
Melissa,
Whose
go
turn?
ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now I can't hear you guys. All right, so I just wanted really quick. I had someone in my downline. She's my level 2. Her level 1 had some issues and didn't want to do the business anymore. So I reached out to my level 2, and she wants the business. And so her and I have been working together the whole month of April and now into May. 90 days, I told her. She's gotten a new customer every single day this month. She went to her first event with me. She is excited. I mentor her. We talk once a week, every Monday morning for about 45 minutes. We set out for the week what she's going to do. She tells time that she has to work the business, and I'm very off. She has one new promoter who's in Spokane, who's coming down to the SOS training in Orange County, and she's just excited. And she did Mary Kay for a little bit and spent like over $3,000. This girl made her buy $3,000 worth of product. She was crying to me when I said, you know, we'll work with you. I don't want you to ever go into debt for this. So anyways, it's just been amazing watching her growth in the last, 5 weeks. So I just wanted to share that, just because she was discouraged because her number one, or her person who got her involved, decided to quit. And I love what's going on. And so, but I spend time with the people that want this. And I shared with her, because I didn't want her to quit because of what was going on with her friend, if that makes sense. And her friend is my friend. We've known each other for 10 years, and she went wackadoodle on me. And so, but it doesn't matter because I've known her for a long time, and she was fine with me taking over with the other girl. So anyways, I just, it's nice to see that. And I love her dearly. And she's like, every day we text, we talk. And I think it's important to have that if someone's never been in the business before, to reach out to them. So that's my little nugget. Just wanted to share, Chris. And thanks for saying that.
Awesome. Thank you, Melissa. All right, Leo.
All right. Well, we're doing everything that everyone else is doing, but a little twist on like prospecting, because your prospects, eventually kind of run dry if you don't get creative. Plus, I have a couple people on my team that are not on Facebook, and for whatever reason, but they are on Messenger. So, we got to be creative on that. But our deal's this, we the play that works, pass the ball, but to get it going, because the majority of my team up and down we are all from the same company. So it goes like this. We write on Messenger a note that says, dear so-and-so, just wanted to let you know that I'm no longer with this company. Although I love the products, we edify the company. We love the products, love the company. My financial needs were not being met. My prayers were answered with a new opportunity, too good to pass up. I hope we cross paths in our travels. And that's it. We don't say, you want to hear about it? We just leave it at that. And one of 4 things will happen. Most of the time they're going to say, I'm really happy for you that you found something that works. And, so they're not interested. The other one would be nothing, crickets. Or they'll say, you're not with this anymore. And, they obviously will say more than that. They're kind of offended. They take it personal. But a lot of people will go, well, you didn't say what it is, so it piques their interest. And then we go into Messenger and do, have you heard about the happy coffee everyone's talking about, and do the same thing. So it's just a way to, even if you've been gone a year, or even if they already know you've been gone and you posted on your Facebook page that you found a new opportunity too good to pass up. It's just a good way to people that have forgot about you or you forgot about. So that's working. That's one thing. And something that I just started doing, I just flew to New York last weekend for a wedding, and 6 hours on the plane. So I went through Facebook and I started writing down names of people that have any mention of coffee on their site. Not in our company, but you see a lot of people with a coffee cup, or they love their coffee, they need to go, or their routine Starbucks or whatever. So what I did, and this was what got me going on that, was I had a gal I don't even know what company or how she was my friend, but she was my friend, and she said she was searching for an organic coffee. So I said, great. So I went into her messenger and I wrote her a note and said, hey, I kind of eavesdropped on your thread and I saw that you're searching for an organic coffee. Would you be interested in learning about my coffee? It's really, a fabulous product, so on and so forth. So I just left it at that, and I forgot I actually did that. I went to the wedding and then I checked my messages and she messaged me. She said, okay, let's skip the, what's the sales pitch? And I said, no sales pitch. I said, you got 3 minutes to watch a video on the coffee? She said, sure. So I sent her the video and she ended up being a customer. So I was 1 for 1. And so it's just an idea of something, that I think that people comment on coffee, that just opens the door, gives you the green light to at least say, hey, are you interested in hearing about my coffee? So we do that. And we had some good welcome calls this week. And, it's important. You find out how fast they want to work the business or how slow. And I think that's a big part of it, of how much time they're going to, allot to the business. You need to find that out in the welcome call, because, you can't bang your head against the wall on someone that's going to work, maybe 20 minutes a day or a couple days a week. So I think that defining the time frame that they're willing to spend on the business or want to spend, it will help you a lot working with your teammates.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leo.
You bet.
So guys, we got a lot of good input from a lot of people. We're going to close it out. What I will share is, guys, when I was listening to the Ray Higdon video the other night, or live, whatever you want to call it, that Jen was on, it made me realize all the things that we are doing right. We are doing so many things right as a team, as a company, as an organization, and it's just mind-blowing. And really the culture that we originally set out to make, when it started off with just Ricky and I, and the next thing you know, it's Ian, and then next thing you know, Marcy came on board, and next thing you know, another leader, Sean and Kim, came on board, and then, with Mike Massini and just and Cassandra, it was just like leader after leader after leader. Micah Winder, I say Winder, it's Winder, but basically leader after leader after leader that came on board. It was like everyone resonating on the same level. And what we talked about and what attracted everyone was the environment to where people weren't going to be judged based on what they do or how fast they grow. An environment where we're going to support people wherever they are. See, leaders are made, not born. Every single one of you all, no matter where you are today, your present does not dictate your future. Your future is going to be dictated by what you decide to do with today. What you do with today, what you do with tomorrow, and the number one thing you can do is try to be a better version of yourself today than what you were yesterday. And guys, if you just work every day at doing little tiny increments of change in your life, little tiny personal development, whether it be listening to something, and you hear me talking about audios that I'm listening to. I've been in the industry 20 years this month, literally this month, 20 years. I have libraries. I have of books that I've not read the whole thing of every single book, but I've read parts and pieces of different books. I've listened to program after program after program. I get on, and every single day I'm touching base with certain leaders. And like, if I call Ian at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, what is he doing? Personal development. And we're working on ourselves to do little increments every day to basically better ourselves. So guys, if you did nothing more than just become a little bit better than what you were yesterday, you're doing great. See, you don't have to judge yourself on where you are today. It's where you want to be tomorrow. And guys, that's the way that we're looking at the company. Are we where we want to be right now? No. Is everything perfect? Hell no. I mean, it's not perfect. But the thing is the vision of where we're going is. The vision of what we're able to create as a team is, as a company is, what we're going to create in the environment that we originally started out to do, that we've been very effective at doing, is creating an environment where people can win. And watching, Colt and Cindy and their story and what happened, Guys, they've never made the kind of money that they've made now in this company only 4 months in. It's because we created that environment to where they felt comfortable. All we're here to do, guys, is be the fertilizer for people so where they can plant their seed in this fertile soil and we just pour love into them. And guys, as long as we're loving people, if they just want to be a customer, great, love on them. If they want to go out and get a customer here, a customer there, love on them where they are. Don't judge them and say, well, you're not a leader. I don't have time for you. Of course, you're not going to spend all your time with that person, but love people where they are. Create the environment where they can become the best version of themselves. Love on them and basically make them feel good about who they are and who they can become, and your life and their life can change. With that being said, guys, let's close it out. Love you all. Y'all have an awesome night. I will be posting this video or Zoom on my YouTube page. So if you want to find that, just search my name on YouTube, and we will have the recording for you. Again, love you guys. Appreciate you all. Thanks so much for all the people that gave value tonight. Again, this is your call.
Thanks, Chris.
Add value every week. Love you guys. Take care.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Have a great night.
Thank you, Chris. Have a blessed one, buddy.
Thank you.
Chris.